Yo, what up? Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Sunday. It's your boy DeAndre Swanson coming to you live once again from the Oval Office from the sanctuary up here at Ike Middle School. Man, I wanted to hop on here real quick today and just share a very brief word. Shot one video, it's 15 minutes long. That's way too long. So that one's for me, and this one is for y'all. And so today I wanted to talk about a word that I think most people have an understanding of, but very few of us understand how this word influences our own everyday lives, but also the lives of the people around us, those close to us, those that we love, those that we have relationships with, whether those be very deeply intimate or kind of just superficial, people we work with, associates, not necessarily friends or family. And that word is expectation. Okay? Expectation. I'm not really sure if I've shot a video about expectation before, but I think today that word is calling me. So the reason why I wanted to talk about expectation is for one reason and one reason only. This is the first video, the first one that I've shot since coaching basketball again, and that facet or that aspect of my life has really just kind of opened up a different level of excitement for me. Being back on the sideline, being back at practices with the young men, being able to pour into the lives of these young guys. And yesterday, I don't know if many people have been out to watch these 7th grade guys play basketball. I got a team full of dudes, some of whom need a lot of work in terms of their athletic development. But they all need work, and we all need work and development as men, myself included. Because I very, very transparently in practice the other day probably said some stuff and did some stuff that was out of character and that I shouldn't have done. But that's okay, because the young men also need to see the picture of a broken man. And they also need to hear you be able to say as a coach, man, I'm sorry, I was wrong. I made a mistake. And so that feeds into expectation in this way. Is whatever standards, whatever ideas, whatever, notions, whatever policy, whatever procedure, whatever scheme you put in, whatever technique you've taught, to the people around you, whatever it is that it is that you have come to expect from people, at some point in their lives, they're going to not be able to meet your expectation. There's sometimes in our lives also too where we place these expectations on people, and we knew full well when we stated that, hey, this is what I want you to do. This is how I want this to go. At the time when we asked them or we told them that, they weren't able to complete that or fulfill that expectation. But because you had that expectation on them, that put a little bit of pressure. That applied a little bit of pressure to them. But also in a lot of ways, people will never know what they're actually capable of if you don't place those expectations on them. I expect for you to get over the bar is up here, and anything less than that is unacceptable. And man, these kids rose to the level of my expectation yesterday. And it was a beautiful thing, at a moment at the end of the game when some kids made a mistake. Same kid made a mistake, fouled a kid with, it had to be under 10 seconds left. Fouled this kid and put this boy on the free throw line. He goes to the line and makes 2 free throws. We lose the game. But instead, this kid goes to the free throw line. He makes the first one, misses the second. We go to overtime. And in overtime, something strange happened, Coach. I stayed quiet. And these kids figured it out. I might have said 1 or 2 things, called a timeout last time out I had, and talked to these guys and tried to get them ready emotionally, psychologically. The crunch time and being in that moment, it was crazy, because you look around and all these kids are so nervous, and they don't know what's going on. But man, to be able to, hey, listen, bring it down a little bit. We're going to be all right. We're fine. We're right where we need to be, right where we want to be. And in that huddle and in that group with those guys, man, and to talk to those kids and see the way that they performed after that was fantastic, man. It was fantastic. So it's a blessing to be a coach. It's a blessing to when people kind of look to you and have an expectation on you to be able to provide answers for them, to be someone that young men want to emulate and be like. That expectation is something that I don't want to fall short on, not only from the standpoint of parents, my coworkers and the people that I work with, but also from the young men. Whether they know it or not, there's kind of an unwritten contract that we have when I do coach you that you should expect the best from me because that's what I expect from you. And man, it's a good thing. It's a good thing to be back out there, to be on the sidelines, walking up and down, man, and watching how these kids are responding. I mean, it's coaching is it's a beautiful thing. So feels good to be back. And yeah, man, what are some expectations you have? Some that may be too lofty, some that may not be high enough. The expectation that you have for yourself. Do you expect too much of yourself at times? Give yourself the opportunity to make mistakes and the room to fail, as well as when other people don't meet your expectations, man. Allow for forgiveness to be an expectation as well, because you don't do everything right. And so when the people around you don't do everything right, it's okay. It's okay. Figure out a way to pick yourself back up off the mat. Figure out a way to help pick other people back up off the mat. Get back in the game and keep rocking. All right. We love y'all. And I expect for y'all to love me back. All right. We're going to holler at you later. Peace.